Before we start opening and editing software, make sure that you have your script written for the text overlay video. We're going to use Adobe Premiere Rush. So if you click on the Creative Cloud icon on your computer, you could open the app from there, or you can open up your program files folder and open it from there. You're going to click on Create a New Project. On the bottom left of the screen, you're going to type in a project name. You'll see a list of files you can add to the project. If you don't see the files that you want automatically appear, on the left side, you'll see some more options of different directories you can look in for the files. At the top of the window, there's also a drop-down menu to show you the parent directory if you want to go there as well. For now, just select one file. Click the Create button on the bottom right of the screen. A new layout appears. On the bottom right side of the window, there's an icon to select the video size. You can choose landscape, square, or portrait. There are marketing studies about the effectiveness of one size or another for different social media platforms. For now, we're just going to stick to traditional landscape. Underneath the video window is a timeline, which is made up of rows called tracks. There are tracks for video and audio. Video tracks can include videos, photos, and titles. What's on the topmost layer is overlaid or covers the content on the tracks beneath it. On the bottom left side, you're going to click on the Control Tracks icon. This will show you more options on each of the tracks, on each of the rows. So on the video track, there's an eye icon. You can click on it to hide the video imported. Click on the eye icon again to unhide the video. Now on this timeline, you're going to see a blue pentagon with a line through it that goes to the tracks. This blue pentagon is called the current time indicator, or at least that's what I was taught it was called. Wherever this is in the timeline, that's the image that appears on the main video screen. So just so you know, when you want to see something, you're going to move that CTI across the timeline to see what you want. So back to this video track, we're going to click on the eye icon to hide it, because right now we want to focus just on titles. You'll see there's a speaker icon right there. Also, you're going to click on that to mute the track. Like I said, we're focusing on titles. Now each of the sentences you wrote earlier will become a title. On the right side menu, click on the first icon. That's the titles icon. Several templates will appear. Double click on the shadow 2-line left. It will appear on a new track on the timeline, and the text options will appear on the right side. Now, if the CTI is at the very beginning of the title, you won't see anything in the video window because the title has animation. It actually starts off the screen. So you're going to want to move that CTI to the middle of the title. That way you can see exactly what it'll look like on the screen. Now, in the edit menu on the right, you'll see the first line of the text. There's default text that goes in there. If you click on it once, the text is highlighted, and you can replace that text with the text of your first sentence. You'll notice the template I chose didn't include a UTRGV color. So on the titles edit panel, you can click on the shape and you can adjust the fill to, in this case, F05023 or another UTRGV brand color. You're going to repeat this process with the second line of the title and the second shape if necessary. Before I forget, there's a light gray bar on the bottom of the screen beneath the timeline that lets you zoom in and zoom out of the timeline. You shorten the bar to zoom in, and you lengthen it to zoom out. That'll come in handy later as you're adding more titles. So now that we have the text there, we have it colored properly, we want to figure out how long to keep this title on the screen. So there are lots of ways that people decide how long to keep the title on the screen. Some involve math I don't want to deal with. The guideline I go with is keep the title on the screen for the amount of time it takes me to read it twice. If I can read it twice, a viewer should be able to read it once. And when I say read it twice, don't speed through reading it twice. Read it as it's the first time you've seen the sentence. So we're moving the CTI to the beginning of the video. We're going to play the video. We're going to read the text in the title twice. Pause the video when you reach that point. And now we're going to shorten or extend the title to match that spot. To change the length of the title, put your mouse at the end of the title. The pointer will change to a bracket and an arrow. Click and drag the clip to the right to add more time or the left to decrease the time. Once you're done with that, make sure the title is selected. It'll have an orange border around it if it's selected. Click on the duplicate button, which is on the bottom left of the screen. It's the icon above the trash icon. The duplicated title will appear in a video track above the first title. But we want all our titles on one video track, so we're going to drag the duplicate title behind the first title. The reason I duplicate instead of opening the title panel again is the duplicated title will already have the UTRGV colors. Now we're going to paste or type the second sentence text into the second title. Repeat the steps adjusting the length and title and duplicating the title. We're going to paste or text the second text title into the second title. Now you'll notice that you can actually fit all of your line on one single shape. But I wanted to show you the different elements of this template so that way you know how to adjust each of them. If the second line and block aren't needed, just highlight the text and delete. Click on shape 2 in the edit menu and hit the delete button. When you're done with making this title, you're going to duplicate it again and repeat the whole process for each of the lines in your script. And now we're going to add videos to the title. We're going to import more videos by clicking on the plus sign on the top left of the screen. You're going to select the video or images to import. So select your videos, click the add button. The imported videos will be added to the first video track, behind that first clip that you imported.
Click on the X on the media panel to close the panel. You want more screen room. Also close the titles panel on the right, also to get more screen room. Just click on the titles icon.
Now to avoid the changes to your titles when you're dragging around video, you're going to lock the title track. So you see a lock icon on the title track, click on it to lock it.
Now click and drag to arrange the videos in the order you want them. The video should match or complement what the text says. For example, if the sentence is about students eating, show video of students eating, not of buildings. Try to have one video clip for each title. If you choose multiple clips for one title, make sure the change between the clips doesn't distract too much from the text. Adjust the video length of the first clip to match the first title. Place your mouse at the end or start of the clip. Click and drag to change the length. Put the video clip for the second title under the second title. Adjust the length as needed, and repeat this for the remainder of your titles. If necessary, adjust the placement of the title on the screen. To do that, unlock the title track by clicking on the lock icon. Click on the title in the video window and drag it to wherever you want that placed. There are templates that put the text on different parts of the screen for you, but because this is a basic introduction, I wanted to keep this as uniform as possible. So the titles and videos are done. Next is audio. Since people don't usually unmute the video, you might think you don't have to worry about audio. But if someone does watch the video with audio, you don't want random audio to distract from the text. In this exercise, we're going to mute the audio from all the clips and add music. You saw earlier that you could actually mute the entire channel, but I want to show you how to mute individual clips in case you need that in the future. Select the first video clip on the timeline. Open the audio effects panel, which is on the menu on the upper right side. Click on the waveform icon, which is the second to last icon, and you're just going to check the mute option. You can see a slider for the volume is available if you just want to lower the volume. Now we're going to repeat and mute the rest of the video clips by clicking on them, opening the audio panel, selecting mute. This tutorial covers the basics, but if you did include a quote from someone, obviously you don't want to mute that audio. You don't have to see the video's audio on the track to mute it, as we just demonstrated, but if you're curious and you want to see the audio track, you can click on the Expand Audio button. It's the second to last button on the bottom left menu. So next we're going to import music. So we'll click on the Import button, select a music file, click Add. The music file will appear as an audio track.
This music file is large, so instead of dragging the end of the file to match the length, put the CTI bar where you want the audio clip to end. Then click on the scissors icon on the bottom left menu to split the clip. Now select the extra part of the clip you don't want and hit delete.
If you have a quote, you would need to adjust the music level so the quote is a dominant sound, but this is bare bones tutorial, so we're going to skip that. You usually don't want a sudden stop of audio at the end of your video, so we're going to dissolve this audio. Open the Transitions Effect panel on the upper right menu by clicking on the second icon from the top. Click and drag the cross dissolve effect to the end of the music clip. You could adjust the length of the dissolve effect itself. You're going to have to zoom in to see it better in order to adjust it. If needed, you could import a stinger or an end tag or some sort of branding to include at the end of your video. If you do this, make sure the audio on the stinger or end tag matches the same volume as the music. You don't want to punish a viewer who saw all the video with screaming audio at the end. You would do the same thing like you did before. You would import it, you would select the file, go to the audio panel, and adjust the volume as needed. Next, you get to watch the video to check if the titles make sense and are on the screen long enough. You want to correct any typos and make any other adjustments as necessary. Then watch it again. If you made more changes, watch it again. Now, the video project is of no use if we don't make an actual file of it to share. Click on the Share tab at the top of the window. Choose Local as a destination, but as you see, there are social media options available too. Name the file. Choose the file destination by clicking on the directory icon next to Save To. You'll also see the estimated file size is listed as well. Most of your audience will probably consist of mobile users, so you want to make the video size small so they don't have to deal with buffering. Under the Advanced drop-down menu, you'll see an option to select a preset or switch the quality. This will change the file size. I can't give you an exact number to aim for in file size. There are a lot of variables. The last guideline I heard is ridiculously old, so I'll say this. Try to knock 20 megabytes off the default size, at least. So if the file is exporting at 70 megabytes, try to get it closer to 50 megabytes. Click on Export, and you're done.